My career as a professional MMA fighter was basically an accident. I started with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then it was like a question of, hey, maybe I'll try this fight. If I win and I like it, I'll go be the best I can be. And so right after I turned 18, I took my first amateur fight. I won it pretty dominantly in the first round, and I was like, wow, I really enjoy this feeling. I enjoy this sport. And so I just went after it. And once I had a few amateur MMA fights, I was like, I'm good at this. I know I'm good at this. I believe in myself. Let's go. And so turned pro within a year of my first amateur fight, had literally 8 amateur fights within a year, turned pro with Invicta Fighting Championships, and the rest is kind of history. I still can't believe I'm here today. One of the most popular questions I get asked a lot is, how do I do work-life balance? Because I work so much, and honestly, I don't really balance it out too much, and that's how I've gotten where I am. I used to be told, like, be young while you can, have your teenage years while you can, have your early 20s while you can, and every time they were wrong. I went after, and I didn't have much of a social life. I didn't go out drinking and stuff with my friends. I didn't do all the cool kid stuff. I worked and I focused, and that's gotten me to where I am today. But as far as balance now, I have a husband. I'm getting ready to adopt a newborn. Like, we have a lot of things I've got to balance along with my job, and just, recovering and relaxing for my body to grow and improve and be healthy. And it's just hard. I always tell people I have this little granny planner that I have where I literally write out what I'm doing almost every 30 minutes a day, and it keeps me on track. But man, it's sometimes hard to separate fighter Miranda from wife Miranda to maybe future mom Miranda, and like get my stuff together and then be like the statistician on the side and go from like sweaty, drenched in the gym, tired and fatigued both mentally and physically, to sitting down and doing stats for 3 hours straight. But we figure it out, we keep hustling and growing from here. When I started training, I was at a fairly small gym. I was one of 2 fighters in the gym when I asked to start fighting. And it went from just having like afternoons to train and probably probably 4 days a week, to then jumping to 6 days a week, to where I was overtraining a lot when I was young, because I was like, man, I'm trying to make it to the top. I've got to train more than everybody else. I've got to be the hardest worker in the room. And guess what? At this level, everybody's the hardest worker in the room. So you have to train smart as well, and you have to build your skill levels. So over time, I started cross-training a lot. That really helped evolve my MMA. Then when I would switch gyms, I'd learn different techniques. I'd delve into Muay Thai, delve into the Jiu-Jitsu, then the wrestling. Now that I've moved to Denver, it's the all-around. It's the evolving everywhere by mixing it all together. My coaches are world-class. My training partners are world-class. I've got my schedule figured out to where I train, take a couple hours break, train, take a couple hours break, and it helps my body rest and recover. I'm able to stay more fit, train more intensely, even though my body's not getting as fatigued throughout. And it's just been a great evolution of learning and growing, both with my coaches and myself, and finding out what works for me. A lot has grown within the sport as a whole, from like techniques of nutrition to weight cutting. It used to be way more dangerous, where people just sparred all the time, and you cannot do that, especially for brain health. I am blessed enough to be married at this point in my life, but yes, being a female fighter there for a long time, especially influenced the dating life and personal life. People would, there were either 2 ways, either it's intimidating, so they wouldn't want to date, or there was the whole, hey guys, I'm dating a professional fighter. So it's like, man, I don't even want to be around people who do that. It'd be kind of an instant, boom, I'm done with this date when that would happen. But my husband now, he doesn't even really have anything to do with the MMA part of my life. When he came into my life, I always thought I'd have to be with a martial artist of some sort. He had no background in that whatsoever, but he was in the military. He's a very fit guy. He takes working out and his fitness seriously. And I think at the end of the day, that's all I cared about, is that we had similar lifestyles in terms of taking care of our body and staying healthy and all that. So you know what? It didn't matter. And even if you are a female fighter or have some aspect of your life that is that way, to where it influences others negatively, or they think this or think that about you, keep going, keep trucking, go after your passion and your purpose, and you'll eventually find the one who's right for you. What is the biggest life lesson I've learned through fighting? That's a hard one. I think if anything, it's kind of what I go after in anything in life, and that's always reach your potential. Days are gonna be hard, days are gonna be tough, but you never quit on the days that are the worst. You quit on the days that you enjoy it. And for me, fighting has definitely been a struggle. I've fought through a lot of adversities, but in my heart, I know I was given this ability for a reason. I was given this potential by God, and I want to reach it and do the best I can to pursue opportunities and influence others in a good, positive way in this platform and any other area I am in life. I have a lot of hobbies and side hustles that I do outside of training. I don't know if you call it ways to unwind, but drawing is one of my kind of escapes from the real world. I sit there and I do pencil sketches. I do have commissions available if anybody is interested in messaging me. My art page on Instagram is Maverick_masterpieces, so that's always a cool way to go follow my little side hobbies that I do. But I have openings. That's just a way that I kind of get out of my mind, relax a little bit, and get to sit there listening to music and drawing all day if I want to. But other things I do is I run my business, prowlerpickles.com, where I raise bees, I make pickles. So I sell honey, I sell pickles, I do a lot of homesteading like that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That and like hiking, doing anything outside I love, reading I love. I'm a very independent and having 20 irons in the fire at once kind of person. So not too much downtime for me. Can't say enough about it, but my dad. My dad is the one who influences me the most in life and in my career. He was the one who technically started me in jiu-jitsu. We started learning at home when I was just a little kid while we watched the UFC. He doesn't have any professional training himself, but man, he learned a lot just from watching and taught me the basics at a young age, and has really encouraged not only my lifestyle, but my career in going down this path, and he's usually the one sitting in my corner. So Papa Maverick is what everybody calls him around here in the UFC. So if you guys ever see him on Instagram or in my corner, be rooting for him too. So my walkout song is the Top Gun theme song. The reason why is obviously my last name is Maverick, so what better to go with it than the American icon. I always try to be patriotic and everything, so Top Gun seems to really fit, so the Top Gun theme song it is.